Splash Pages.
Yeah. It's Tuesday night at
All
8.
right.
Woo!
Let's start the show.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
You are, in fact, watching The Dorkening.
You're watching The Dorkening. Stay tuned.
For all the geek news everywhere. Dorkening.
And this is The Dorkening. Trust me, I'm smarter than these guys.
Because The Dorkening is the best and most educational entertainment and information source that the Trauma team knows of. It's the best. The Dorkening.
Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. You are watching Splash Pages. My name is Leo. I'm the monkey behind the keyboard here. We have a fabulous, awesome episode for you today. And as always, I see you, Drew. Well, fine. Since you were doing that, we'll go right to you. Hey, Drew.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Splash Pages, a place of intellectual conversation, dissection of nerdery, and all-around good time to do on Tuesday. Or you could just watch TiVo. Who knows? Continue, please.
Jar Jar.
Hey, it's Tuesday night, and it's Jar Jar, and we're all here for Splash Pages. I'm really excited because it's been a good week, and we've read a good comic, and there's a little bit of news, and it's over to Velvet J.
Hey, it's your man Velvet J, here on another Tuesday of the award-winning Splash Pages podcast. And there is tons of news, not just a little news. There are tons of news. We've got Marvel, we've got DC, we've got positive, we've got negative. We've got all kinds of things, nerdery, culture, love. This is what we do. We bring it to you. And we have our special guest co-host this week, Miss Kari Sanders, live from the Owl something series. And sorry, I'm going blank, but here she is, Kari.
Turn on the light.
Hello, light. And
Hello, light.
happy Tuesday, everybody. Kari here, ready to spend another lovely evening of Splash Pages with all of you and these fine gents. Stay tuned for news and reviews.
Woohoo! It's going to be a fun show. A lot of stuff and some really awesome news, like right before the show started. Do we want to jump into that, or what
Might
do
as
we wanna
well,
do?
since it's the biggest.
Yeah, you
of the
already
day.
set us up, so we might as well just before we're tripping over each other,
Yeah.
starting to get the last
Take
word.
off those glasses, Leo. Go show the world who's the new Superman.
We start with some music.
Music? Do I have music?
It's not Leo Pond, but it's Superman.
So love it. Okay, so it is official for Superman Legacy, the new movie, the first movie of the DC universe. Is that it? It's the DC universe. It's Gods and Monsters is the storyline.
Yeah.
Okay.
Superman Legacy and a new DC. It's not DCEU. It's DC Universe, I believe.
DCU.
DCU. So we have David Corenswet and Rachel Brosnahan will be playing Clark Kent and Lois Lane.
Now, this is reported as per the Hollywood Reporter because James Gunn did say don't believe anything until he says it.
And James Gunn did.
He did?
Confirmed it. Yep.
All
Yep.
right.
A tweet this afternoon. Actually, I think it was just recently. He tweeted, yeah, it is official.
All right. Nice.
Everybody's
So
gonna waited on bated breath.
now, no one I know has seen David Corenswet in anything, but a bunch of people have seen Rachel Brosnahan.
Oh, yeah.
In, the Marvelous Miss Maisel, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely love that show.
Anybody seen any Corenswet?
No, but this is what I actually like because it's kind of what I was thinking is very defeating about Disney and their Marvel universe and their Star Wars universe now is there's so many big names in it that you're not allowing, you're paying all this money that's going into the film is being paid to the superstars instead of the story that's being built around these. And like, who knows, maybe these guys will become huge superstars from it. I've never heard of Corenswet. Corenswet, right?
Yeah,
Corenswet.
Yeah.
But I mean,
he didn't get teased about that at all as a child.
Yeah, I know. Like, that's why I want to make sure I say it somewhat close to what it's right, because, that must have been a rough childhood.
Well, maybe he's French. It could be Corenswet.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well,
François.
and also, Jeremy, I feel like you bring up a good point. That sometimes going with a bunch of rookies is really best. I mean, that's what Star Wars was. It was a bunch of not, kind of, I wouldn't say unknowns. There was some star power there.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
Drew, let's not forget, this is what James Gunn does.
Yeah. And, I mean, hell, before Star Wars and Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford was a carpenter.
Yeah.
So anything's possible. And it's funny because there's already people online that are being extremely critical of this and and everything and whatnot. Which
people online being critical.
Yeah,
that picture right there looks like a young Henry Cavill. So if they're being critical, they're getting what they wanted.
The point I always stick to is I really make no opinion until I see a first trailer.
Yeah, and listen, there were literally 12 to 14 hours before this, there was a report that they were doing final casting runs with a couple of the leads, including like Nicholas Hoult and and then now they announced this. So clearly they tried him out. I mean, they must have faith in him. They've seen his performance a few times, and they're like, all right, this is the guy. So this is the guy. What are we going to do about it? And we'll see what happens.
We're going to watch it. That's what we're going to do.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So good luck to them both. I look forward to see who else is going to be in the cast, what the story is going to be. Because let's be real here. Star power is one thing, but we of the nerd army are really going to be the most critical about what the story is. And that is where we have the faith in James Gunn, because he's shown in Guardians and even in the Suicide Squad that he does have not only a good love of source material, but he has a good way to channel it in a way that is entertaining, but also pays good homage to the comics, but also is just a good story, So honestly, let's see where this goes, That's my opinion.
Having just looked it up on how to pronounce his name, apparently just so that they could mess with us, it's Corenswet.
Corenswet.
All right.
So it's really pronounced. Corinne.
Well,
Corenswet. Unless it was just somebody from a different country.
Where is Mr. Corenswet from? Does anybody know where Mr. Corenswet's from, since you just looked it up, Kari?
No, absolutely not. But, Kari, I mean, we were talking about bullies. I mean, if anybody probably had to deal with a little bit of that, I mean, your last name is Sanders. So I can only imagine you've been asked about chicken at least once in your life.
How's the Colonel?
Oh, God, yes. And my dad actually met him once, even though we aren't related.
Mm-hmm.
So...
correct me if I'm wrong, Kari, which proves that not only do bullies go for low-hanging fruit, but the creativity is a bit, lacking.
He's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
There you go.
And he's known for Pearl, We Own This City, and The Politician.
Okay.
And I just wanted to point out that, it really, and I know we've mentioned this before, but it really looks like, the perfect merge of Henry Cavill and Tom Welling.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice amalgamation, but also his own, self. So.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
He's got quite the jawline.
He does.
That's necessary to be Superman. So, well, I think before we move on to the next thing, we wish him and Miss Brosnahan the best. We hope they're marvelous.
Yes, indeed.
I'm good. Moving
Quite
on.
a pearl.
Moving on.
Leo, what do you got, my friend?
Well, yeah, like you mentioned, there were several other tests going on just recently. Let's see. But they were talking about, sources say that there is a short list for Lex Luthor.
Okay.
Siblings Alexander and Bill Skarsgård.
Okay. Quick, everybody, before we move on from that, quick round table. Who is your ideal Lex Luthor? I'm going to go first. Bryan Cranston.
Oh, yes. I agree with that.
Okay.
That is good. Oh, man.
Didn't he just announce so he wouldn't do it?
Yeah, he did. But I'm just saying, if he was like, I'm going to be Lex Luthor, I'm like,
nobody did it better than Michael Rosenbaum. Like, that guy.
And they did him and he and James Gunn are old friends, and he recently had him on his show. James was on Michael's show.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of joked about it a little bit, and he did say that he was one of the best Lexes.
So Velvet, is that your vote too?
I'm on the fence between him and Nicholas Hoult, because if Nicholas didn't get Superman, I can see him as a bald Lex, and I really like his acting chops. He really impressed me in Renfield, and I always liked him as the Beast in the X-Men.
Okay.
So yeah, he's definitely got one of my votes.
All right, well, Kari, what about you? Round it out.
Well, pulling as when you mentioned the Skarsgårds, I mean, okay, then my mind immediately went to that would be kind of perfect. Alexander Skarsgård, that is. I love Bill. He just isn't the right build for it. But if we aren't going for the super buff Lex Luthor, I would say Evan Peters is getting around the same age range as this guy.
Okay.
That he's played older characters, and he can get into just about any role and really stick it. Although he's involved in comic book universes already, or he's goofy, but
Okay.
he can hit serious pretty hard.
All right.
I'll retracting my answer, since James Gunn always uses his brother in some capacity in his movies. I'm going with good old Sean. He would be an interesting take on the Lex Luthor, the scrawny kind of fucking crazy fucking.
Jeremy, before we end our first session of Splash Pages Casting Couch, I will take your Lex Luthor and I will raise you instead of Lex. He would make a good toy man.
Oh, that would be cool too.
Thank you.
All right,
that would be impressive.
I'll play with anything.
I like. We're going to move on from that because that could get real dirty. So we're going to move on. Leo, do you have anything else?
Well, I was just going to say, instead of him playing, what did you say, Lex? What if he played Otis?
That would be good too. He does a good lackey.
Okay. So the Flash movie, which I absolutely loved. I know Velvet, you loved. It.
No hablo español, señor.
No hablo español. Por favor. Okay.
That was hysterical.
You downloaded on our special server the Spanish version.
Yeah.
I told him in the middle of the night.
We have some Spanish people in our community that were able to watch it and enjoy it.
Okay.
So all the power to them.
Okay.
I missed that class.
So without going into the negative feedback, which we covered on The Dark Knight, absolutely ridiculous. But it is getting a digital release fairly early. They're talking July 18th.
Wow.
For Flash on VOD.
Wow. That is early.
I honestly can't wait to watch it again.
Yeah. Apparently Guardians comes out around the same time as VOD.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. And then when we get Spider-Man, and then I will be complete.
Yes.
Yeah.
Until the next movie comes out.
And I will be giving next show, because we're talking movies, I will be giving a non-spoiler review of the new Indiana Jones, which I'm seeing Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Also, Best Buy.
Ooh.
Up for pre-order right now for $36.99 is the Steelbook of The Flash.
All right, Velvet, you got to make some deliveries, man. You got to get that.
Yeah. What were you going to say there, Kari?
Oh, I was just waiting until you were done with your things. I had one comment on the Flash, but do all this stuff. This isn't that important. It was just.
I had one other thing. What was it?
Well, it wasn't that important. So, Kari, what do you got?
Oh, you guys, some of you hadn't seen this. This isn't a spoiler by any means because everybody's seen the trailers and such. But there's a particular scene that really struck this in my head. But since I've seen The Flash, I have not been able to get the NXS "Never Tear Us Apart" song out of my goddamn head.
Which part is that in, Kari?
It's not in there. It's just when I was watching it, it's I was standing, you were there, two worlds collided, and they could never tear us apart. And I'm just like, I want to kill you now.
God damn it! Now it's in my
there's the collision of worlds and stuff, and I'm just
collided. I like that song.
Michael Hutchinson.
There's a part where there's a Superman thing that particularly struck it. That's what started it in my head, but now I just haven't been able to stop.
God damn it, Kari.
I remember what I was going to say.
You're welcome. Oh, good.
Okay, cool. Leo,
I don't know how true this is, but it's on YouTube, so
very
it must be
true.
It's so true.
But it looks like Spider-Man Spider-Verse, there are variations being played in different theaters.
I heard that.
Is that true?
According to the clips I saw.
Now, what would be the variant part?
Yeah.
Oh, multiple parts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
So now we're
Leo,
moving into variant movies instead of just variant covers. So you have to
yes.
collect like all of them on DVD to watch them, or
Mhm.
however
yeah,
you
yeah.
collect any DVDs.
Well,
So like there's one scene with Spider-Gwen in the background, and she in one theater she did a selfie, and in another theater she like high-fived somebody. And then there was
okay.
So it's just Easter egg kind of variant things, nothing
Yeah.
story wise.
Yeah, and there was one where Miles runs across a over a Spider-Man, and then all the other Spider-Men are chasing him. And in one theater, they get slung up, and then in another theater, they actually fall down and crash.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's small things, Leo, but it's
Yeah.
small but noticeable things.
Yeah, yeah.
It is strange that they would put out variant movie editions to theaters.
Well,
That's kind of interesting. I don't know what their game plan in it is.
well, and it's hard to say also, Jeremy, speaking of game plan, because I've been reading a lot of articles where that they had a lot of artistic burnout from making the film. I do believe it was an equivalent of over 100 artists quit the project due to, in their words, unsustainable working conditions. And that, despite the film's overwhelming praise and box office success, that has been painting a lot of people skeptical about the process, much less that the movie will be ready. The second part. Spoiler, everybody, it's a two-parter. So if you don't realize it by now, consider yourself known. People are wondering if the movie actually will be released next year or if it's going to be delayed.
And
So,
Drew, to piggyback off that, I've also seen similar videos and articles talking about with the complaints of, although it didn't take me out of the movie at all. Some people complained about the Flash CGI. This gentleman was like, "Hey, I've worked on a lot of these CGI projects now, and what happens is all these companies are not doing it in-house. They're rolling it out to independent things, and they're giving it to the lowest bidder. And
right.
the artists that they hire, they're making them work like insane hours. They're working like 20 hours a day. They don't have the time. They don't have the technology to do it right. And this is why we're getting where people are complaining that the CGI is not what it was. Because if you're not willing to pay for it, you're not going to get the quality. So.
Right. And Velvet, piggyback of that, I did read something where I believe if somebody said like, "Oh, hey, if it looked like it was made in a week, there's a chance it might have been." So, which is another, in my opinion, that's another point toward, easing us off of superhero burnout and kind of a little bit more space in between these movies. Just one, for us to digest them, but also, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but also just for us to kind of decompress and let these people kind of make some quality product instead of, we got to get this out to market now, then you're rushing. So you lose both the quality and you're also leaving it up to harsh criticism. And just like comics, if people aren't buying, the book won't continue. So the same thing with a movie. If movie doesn't do well, there will not be a sequel, regardless of how good it is.
Absolutely. And to tail end, to try to finish off the Flash, although Kari may have one more item. So you were speaking, Drew, I'm sorry, about them doing something just like within a week span time. From what I understand, they were trying to get someone else to be Batman at the end of the movie. And when he continued to say no, basically 2 weeks before the movie, they shot the ending that we now have.
Again, no spoilers, please.
Yeah, no spoilers. That's why I was leaving it at that.
No, it's fine. Thank you. Kari, did you have a flashpoint you wanted to add?
It wasn't a flashpoint.
I did not intentionally do that. I was like,
you're just naturally that good.
That was good.
Thank
you. I liked it a lot.
This is for everybody.
This was just with regards to the only reason I can see why they are churning out stuff so fast that makes any logical sense, because you're talking about the burnout and everything, is actors aging. and not being able to continue playing their roles and then having to switch people out if they do, or have universal, because if you have the teenage X-Men and then you wait 3 years for another one, that can change people a lot depending on when they started filming it. And I'm not saying like that should be a reason to make the movie, but that's one of the only things I can see is why they keep trying to put them out so fast, because they're going to lose people eventually.
Yes. Well, Kari, I don't know what you're talking about because everybody in this podcast is both beautiful and timeless.
Oh, yeah.
I've
looked the same since I was 16.
Leo, stop it. There's a market for you out there somewhere. We'll find it.
Hey, I was at my
10 years ago.
I was at my comic shop and we were talking about, I mentioned about my mom and said she was 91. He's like, "You're not old enough to have a 91-year-old mother." I go, "Well, how old do you think I am?" And he goes, "Oh, you're early 30s, right?" No.
Hey,
so my mom says,
hey. You weren't early 30s last year, buddy. So that's a compliment. So you keep up that progress. You know what? We'll motivate you. We'll get you to 25 before you know it.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna Benjamin Button this thing.
Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, before you know it, we're all gonna be. You'll be another string bean ginger like Jeremy, and then I can't be able to tell you apart.
We'll both go be
me. Yeah, I just noticed Leo's been growing a little fuzz here.
Yeah, look
like the rest of the crew, and it really seems to accentuate his chin because that man's been losing weight, and we really
I've always
see
had
his
this.
chin now. No,
I know.
Your chin seems so much more defined than it used to be.
Oh, geez.
We're gonna have to do a before and after Splash Pages group page. You're like, this was last year Trificon. This is this year. Do you notice anything different? I was like, yes, we're all still beautiful.
Well, it's going to be quite a ways before that happens, but it's it's a work in progress.
You know what? You can hold on to that optimism while we move on to more news. Who's next?
You just say thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, now we can move on.
It's hard for me to take compliments.
You just take it. Take the compliment.
Take the compliment. Let's more news. God.
Make
me fill this with real booze. I'll do it.
So somebody had something about Dragon Ball Z. What's going on there?
Ooh. Dragon Balls.
Who's that?
Gary?
They're well, this was actually J-Bo's. He had posted a short clip that lasted for about 5 seconds and then a slow zoom in from the Spider-Man movie that there is somebody standing on the sidewalk in the background of one scene in the new Spider-Man movie who happens to be wearing clothing of the same color as Goku wears. So people are saying that since Disney does own part of the rights to some of the Dragon Ball Super, I think it is, that there's a possibility that they're and I think, as I think we determined, as most of us did in the comments, that this was a fan reaching really, really, really hard for it.
This is like Elsa and Anna are brother to Tarzan.
Yeah, but because he posted
this, I'm like Plastic Man.
After he posted, though, I did look up and it was found out that they're running some of the Dragon Ball, one of the series, on Disney Plus now, and they do have some ownership, but they have not yet planned on making any Dragon Ball movies or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay, Kari, I'm gonna agree
that
with
wasn't
you
my piece. I was just I looked it up after seeing it. So
hey, Tom Dog.
Yeah, but Kari, I agree with you, and I feel like I can kind of speak for some of us here. I don't know what Jeremy's thinking, but I'm sorry, that's a bit of a stretch. I mean,
wait, you're saying
I
a
would
YouTuber?
love to see Goku, popping out showing Miles Morales to Kame, but that would be, or can you imagine Miles just rolling around on a cloud? That would be dope.
That would be so much fun.
That would be so much fun. I don't think it's happening, but if someone wants to fan art that shit, I would be like, that is so cool, but I'm still not buying it.
I want Master Roshi in the Illuminati. That's all. That's all I need.
Oh, yes. How do we get more girls here? Oh, how wonderful. Oh, God. Dear God.
That'd be fun.
So looks like we're in Jar Jar. I know you mentioned this right before the show, so I threw together an image, but looks like San Diego Comic-Con may be having issues.
Yeah, it seems that all the major studios from Marvel and Disney and Netflix and well, you pretty much name it. They're all saying not this year.
Wow.
So now it could, as I was reading the article, somebody had a good point. It could draw the focus back to comic books and to the actual, the con, instead of everybody going there to find out what's coming out next for Marvel, what's coming out next for this company.
Right, because the big draw about San Diego Comic-Con has always been their Hall H.
Oh yeah,
which sounds like it's going to be a pretty hall empty this year.
Yeah, now Hall H, you had to actually like camp out the day before, right?
Yeah,
to get in line for the panels.
Legit tents, Leo. You had to camp out,
Yeah, panels, trailers, early movie releases that you have to sign an NDA for.
Yeah.
Any of you guys ever done that? Camped out for like a I don't know, let's say concert tickets or anything like that? Me neither.
I don't have my ADD. I was fortunate enough to go to a midnight premiere. Like, oh God, let me start.
In the years that I was going to concerts and stuff, if I had done that, I'd probably have woken up in some strange place.
Yep. Now you call it home.
Jeremy, I think one time I went 2 hours before a Billy Joel concert was going to be put. And I think it was like at a mall, and I would wait on. There was a line with like 30 people, but like by the time the fourth person started, they were all sold out.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep.
That sucks.
That's Billy Joel, though. That makes sense.
Billy Joel.
Yes. So, okay. So I did have another question, and this is just right in my head. I happen to know the first ever San Diego Comic-Con was in a hotel.
Yep.
It was like less than 100 people. And the big guests were Leonard Nimoy and Jack Kirby. I think this was like 1971. God, if you could go back, would you? I would, just to meet Jack Kirby.
To meet Kirby, yeah. Yeah.
Kirby, no, but Jeremy, but considering what we know now, you get the twofer. You get to meet Kirby and you get to meet Nimoy. And this is an old Spock. This is Spock.
See, I would have liked to meet Spock, because not for his, especially what I know now, than of what, because like his little. Have you guys ever seen him sing the Hobbit songs?
Oh yeah.
I had the record.
Like, I would love to get into that dude's mind. Be like, man, you are something. Like, where?
Did you ever watch In Search of?
Yeah, I believe I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did all the narrations, right?
Yeah.
There was probably some LSD involved in there, Jar Jar.
He also wrote like kids or like psychology books too, like kid psychology books.
Mm-hmm. He was well rounded as a person.
Hold on, let me make sure I'm not just blowing smoke.
No, you're thinking Dr. Spock, not Leonard Nimoy.
Hold on.
Probably.
Yeah.
Dr. Spock, medicine.
I'm with Leo on that one. Yeah. But
wait a minute, that struck a memory with me. Hold on.
So Leonard Nimoy is actually the only one from the original crew that I have not met.
Same, actually. Yeah, I've met all of them. Well, okay, wait. Minus DeForest Kelly, obviously.
Oh yeah. I didn't meet DeForest Kelly either.
Yeah. So, but minus them, Leo, I'm right there with you.
Yep.
Who was DeForest Kelly?
Yeah, it was Bones.
Yeah.
Damn it, I'm a doctor, not a.
My best Star Trek memory is so they were doing I think it was the 30th anniversary of Star Trek. And me and my friend bought tickets to go in, and they didn't really do cons often. It was early in the con, era.
Right.
And they totally fucked up because your ticket was supposed to get you an autograph.
Early
As
con
well.
era before 1971.
Oh yeah. So yeah, they fucked up, and so they gave us all access to all the events for the entire weekend. So we spent the entire weekend at the con, went several rounds getting multiple autographs, and watched every panel with it was James Doohan, Nichelle Nichols, Walter Koenig, and
You met Scotty?
yeah, yep. Walter Koenig and Sulu.
I've met Sulu.
So James Doohan, he didn't show up for the second showing on a Saturday.
Okay.
And then showed up for the last. Totally smashed. It was awesome. His whole panel, he was talking shit about Shatner.
Hell yeah.
And ended up singing Yiddish mining songs.
Leo, thank you for your Star Trek story share.
Hell yeah.
Did you save it on daguerreotypes? How do you say that? Daguerreotypes? The old-fashioned photograph things where you're supposed to film, like, get a series of them. You can kind of put it on a little spinny thing. That'd be fun.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. They used in the Old West and stuff.
Yeah.
A picture-like thing.
So when was the 30th? Let's see.
Does anybody have any?
96.
Does anyone have any personal Shatner stories since we're talking Star Trek?
I had two, because I briefly met him 2 times. The second time was awful, because in that time I saw the ass version of Shatner. But the first time I got his autograph from my dad, who's the OG Star Trek fan, and I told him it was for my dad. He saw the autograph and he said, and give me a second because I'm going to get the dust off some Shatner's, like, when you see your dad, tell him thank you and give him a big hug for me. And I was like, okay. And then I just moved on. Because the second time he just did and I was like, well, so glad I paid this money for you to just, you could have just, thank you.
Do any of you watch the Y-Files on YouTube?
No.
It's a pretty good channel, but I think he has a project where he worked with Shatner, because Shatner did a bunch of audio clips for his YouTube channel.
Okay.
So like during the live streams, he's Shatner's like talking shit about the live stream. It's pretty funny.
What I find is funny is that he's one of the most recognized characters in Star Trek, regardless. And I feel like nobody he's worked with likes him.
None.
Like everybody who worked with him in Star Trek despises him. Mm-hmm. Everybody else, they're all great, and like Leo, I've met Chekhov, I've met Uhura, who's such a doll.
I met her. She was amazing. Yeah.
She's so great, and she's still so beautiful. Like what a precious. She gave me, and Leo, since you're a Star Trek fan, you don't understand this. She gave me the best compliment. She told me she loved my Star Trek blue eyes, and I died. I was like, oh, that is the best.
You should have went in for it.
You know what? I would have, and I don't even care. It was like, you're timeless to me.
Your health, lady. Yeah.
She was. No, see, you guys want to see something really funny? I took a photo. It was one of my first celebrity photos with Dr. Pooh. My Dr. Pooh. I did it with Sulu and her. Her face makes the photo. I'll send it to you guys later. Dying. That's all I'm going to say. Sorry. Yeah.
Just real quick, since you met, and spot on Shatner impression. You did good. You did good.
Well, when you have to learn how to do, when you're doing Zap Brannigan, I feel like half of it is you have to, be able to do the Shatnerisms, because literally the thing is primarily a mix of Shatner and funny enough, some Phil Hartman, like Billy West, is definitely channeling that Phil Hartman lovable asshole vibe. You know, like it's just you see flashes of Hartman just these cookies, my God. All right, Howard. You know, what was it? Your wife's in the shower right now. Do you want me to go in and check on her? You know, I'm just like, oh my God, you're so awful. I just love you so much and Jingle All the Way.
Strange New Worlds, the second episode of this season, they did a tribute to Nichelle Nichols.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That was back already.
Yep. Yeah. Third episode's this week. The second episode was really good.
Okay. Well, Leo, we know you're going to be the one to tell us if it's good or not. I don't know how you do it, big guy. I don't know how you have time to be on 7 different shows, watch 7, 8 different shows, read comics, go to work, love your wife, drink a soda. I don't know how you do it. I'm still convinced you either have a time turner like in Harry Potter or clones, in which Spider-Man would tell you clones are bad.
We'll go clones.
Yeah. Clones are bad.
Speaking of watching stuff, just real quick, me and my wife started watching Secession.
Okay.
Anybody check that out? No?
No. I'm on The Good Doctor right now.
Good Doctor's good, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good doctor.
Yeah.
Literally.
Wait till you meet the good lawyer.
Oh, geez.
Okay, cool. So, Velvet, did you have any other news?
Yes, there's plenty of news.
I was going to segue as we're talking about second episodes. How about we're all going to be watching the second episode of Secret Invasion, but let's talk about that opening credit scene that's all AI driven or AI made.
Okay.
How do we all feel? Like, I myself am quite excuse me. Something just died. I am quite up in the air with my side on this. I understand the negative feedback it's getting and people being like, well, what about the artists that it was you that it took its ideas from? But also it was a direct decision to use that by the director, and I'm forgetting his name right now, to do that because of the idea of Secret Invasion and how it's taking over and everything.
Well, it's interesting, Jeremy. You know, we've discussed this issue a few times now, and I want to bring up and remind us that we had 2 interviews this year, one with Mark A. Anderson and another with legendary Bart Sears, who both seem to agree that the new AI technology is a tool that artists will just adapt to and continue to use, like many of the other things that they said, oh, this is the end of this, and this is the end of that. So that's how I kind of feel about it. I think all the AI terror is, it's fabricated from the Terminator movies. You know, could that possibly happen 50 years from now? Maybe, but we're nowhere near
Probably not. I mean, you need a human being to actually set in the parameters of whatever you're trying to create anywa's.
Correct.
So
and that is becoming a job in itself, Jeremy. I can't think of what that's called, but that is a job too now. People are hiring people to do that and to manipulate the AI.
Manipulating the AI.
I will admit to manipulating the AI. There's the writing side of it and there's the artistic side of it, and one shouldn't outweigh the other. Just because I'm an author, I shouldn't say like, oh, it's okay to do it artistically. If you're going to do a big project, like if I was to do a book cover, I would definitely pay an artist. For illustrations for a book, I would pay an artist. But for a couple of things like short clips that are going to be in videos or something like that, I have no problem finding an AI, trimming it, and then I do a lot of editing myself because they aren't that really genius
Well,
when
once
they're
again,
done. But
it's
I'll
not
clip
all
things
the
out,
AI's
paint it,
work.
fix it.
But
yeah,
so,
I don't just take something straight from AI and post it.
So Kari, essentially what you're saying is that it's okay as long as there's some sort of balance maintained, where there's like you said, there's a time and a place to use it, but that we don't overindulge.
Yeah, I like to make happy birthday signs sometimes for people on Facebook. So, that I think it's okay if it's something like they have a very specific interest and you can't find a picture that really goes with that. Pull something up, write happy birthday on it, tweak it a little bit. But anything that you're going to be making money off of, particularly a lot of money off of, I think you should have artists get paid for work on that, because
absolutely.
Well, so there's a fine line with that, because it should be used as a tool. The most recent update to Adobe Photoshop, which is a professional tool, they've added AI elements that are really scary. So say like you have a picture and it's a picture of you standing in a beach. You could select yourself and say, hey, replace the background with a city or something like that, and it'll AI generate that. Or if you have a cropped image, you can then expand it, and then the AI will fill in the rest.
Can't you do that with Photoshop anyways, though?
No, I can do that with Photoshop as well.
Leo, so the
Photoshop
point
has a lot of AI elements in it.
So Leo, the point you were getting at?
That it's going to be turned into more of a tool. I'm totally against like saying, taking an AI image, in a professional setting, without any touch up. You should take it like with the writing, use that as like a starting point and then write from there. All of this AI, it should be just used as a tool rather than, oh, I'm going to type in something like I'm seeing all these videos now, create 500 YouTube clips in 30 seconds or something like that, stuff like that is totally unethical, but if you're using it in your workflow and you're adding to it, then, that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
For me, I find that because I'm not the best with the English language, I tend to, like, for writing and stuff, it's great as a base, but you can never use what it puts out because it sounds ridiculous. It's like you could definitely tell without tweaking anything that it's AI driven.
Yeah, it needs to be edited.
In most cases, I think it's a great research tool, but I can't remember what it was about, but there was an article that I read sometime in the past week, I believe, either 1 week or 2 weeks ago, that a lawyer had on ChatGPT, he had ChatGPT throw up a bunch of the information and just use that as his evidence. And it was like, okay, first of all, this was a case that took place in like 2022, 2023, and ChatGPT has not been updated with information since 2021. So it made up everything. And he was like, or whatever program he was using, he hadn't.
Yeah,
it was stuff that there's no way it could have known it. And he was like, oh, I didn't know it would lie. I just thought it was all real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he quoted case law that doesn't exist. That was hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are interesting things too, because I've seen people that they've given the Chat GPT, like, all right, I'm starting with $50. Show me how to invest this money. And supposedly, in a few of the cases, the people have made like tens of thousands of dollars in a very short amount of time. They built that $50 up just based on the advice.
That's an interesting way to use it.
Chat GPT. So I don't know if that's going to work every time, but it's certainly interesting.
I would try that. But
let's try it right now.
Oh boy.
Oh, sometimes for the Token Dead one, I don't know a guest. I'll ask it, be like, hey, do you know this person? What can you tell me about them? And like, that is really when you have to like double check its work, though, because like as Leo was saying with the lawyer, it's just like it may be talking like about some physician with the same name,
right? But there also are now forms of Chat GPT that are connected to the internet. Like I use a Bing form of Chat GPT, and that is connected to the current internet. But it is also not 1,000% accurate as well. You still have to check it.
I'm sorry, Velvet. I'm totally listening, but I'm also fascinated about what Leo's doing.
What's Leo putting in?
I think he's trying to see how much we can make if we put in $50 into a Chat GPT. I just want to point out,
GameStop. Put all your money in GameStop.
I just want to say, if we make a decent amount of money before Terrific Con, I could just say like, okay, all right, Daddy Warbucks, what's our allowance today at Comic Con? Well, here's 200 for you and 200 for you, 200 for you, 200. Everybody go crazy. I'm like, oh boy.
Leo's like Tuscan food for everybody.
Tuscan. Millennium Falcons for everyone.
I want to make a chair thing. What do you call those things that you have to weave through on an obstacle course? Like the dexterity courses for dogs where they have the cones.
Oh my
God. Or on carts. Dexterity course.
I want to do one of those with chairs and like pay Jonathan Frakes to Riker sit and then stand up and like get on to the next one. He has to go up and that'd be fun.
I hear he's not always the pleasant man.
Well, that's why we give him money. We're just like, here's $1,000. Dance, clown, dance. You know?
You might do it for money.
All right. Well, while Leo is gambling the future of splash pages on AI, does anyone else have any other news?
Yeah, there's plenty of news. Breaking 3 hours before the show, a few days ago, they found some evidence of a dead body out in the mountains where Julian Sands was hiking. As of 3 hours before the show, it has been confirmed that it was indeed Julian Sands. He did pass away hiking in those mountains. He did not disappear. He did not use magical warlock-like powers.
He didn't get trapped in a situation like Yellow Jackets or anything.
Yeah, so unfortunately, little children. They don't know what happened exactly at this point. Like I said, they just found the remains. This is investigation that is ongoing.
And correct me, Velvet, but he was one of his more prominent roles was he was Jor-El in Smallville, right?
Oh, right. I did forget about that. Yeah.
Yeah. One of my mutual friends is a big Smallville fan, so he posted about it. So I was like, oh, well, that's neat.
So, but at least his family now has some kind of closure. We wish them well, and
that was a long time too, wasn't it? Like,
it's been a couple of months for sure. But yeah, so that is my down news, but I will bring us right back up.
Velvet, you did great, man. I'm usually the one doing it. I gotta say, well done.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Downer Club.
Yeah,
how you doing?
Now to bring us back up, July 27th this year, debuting on Max, will be season 4 of Harley Quinn, the animated series. So super excited. All the great characters are coming back. And I believe, although they haven't given it a debut date, there is still a spinoff of Kite Man happening that has not been canceled.
Kite Man!
Hell yeah!
So, but in the meantime, we get Kaylee Kuko back.
Does this mean Harley Quinn is part of the DCU, the cartoon? Because James Gunn had said that the DCU would all be contained from comics to cartoons to the movies.
Well, we'll have to see if he's a liar or not.
Liar!
Hey, don't call him a liar. We don't know.
Not yet.
Okay.
But that's happening July 21st or 27th. I'm sorry, 27th of this year.
Oh, wow. That's pretty soon, huh?
Wow, we can celebrate that when we're at Terrificon.
We could maybe be doing a watch party, guys. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Only if we can wear our jammies and paint our names.
Well,
I have jammies
around a laptop.
So Joe had a question. Okay, what about the Batman Beyond comic coming out 6-part series movie that's been shelved?
I heard about that.
So Joe, I believe what Joe is referring to is that the story that we brought up earlier that Colin Kelly and something Lanzig. It's a writers team. They did the latest Batman Beyond series, they're returning to it. It's a neo-Gotham era, and neo-Gothic. That's what it was. That's going on. And fun fact, that's actually one of the toys that Jabo, our toy man, but not evil. Well, he's kind of. Yeah. That's one of those toy covers that Jabo posted about.
The page
Batman Beyond.
Yes.
Yeah, because what's different than this Batman is that Bruce has died, and it was Terry figuring out who killed him and avenging his death, and now he's going on his own, being Batman without it. So, but yeah, I mean, listen, Joe, they've been talking about a Batman Beyond movie for years. Personally speaking, it really is a no-brainer, and it would be a way to put in some fresh blood and a lot of great ideas into which is a fantastic comic book universe. But again, Hollywood has to see the appeal and they have to see the dollar sign. And unfortunately, while Batman is a big audience and always ring, Batman Beyond, unfortunately, I guess Warner Brothers doesn't feel the audience of the market is big enough, which is disappointing because Michael Keaton is probably the best old Bruce Wayne we'll ever have.
Right. And I think we mentioned on one of the other shows that Kevin Smith was at the premiere of The Flash with Michael Uslan, or the son of Michael Uslan, who puts out all the Batman movies. He owns the rights. And it's like, where's your dad? And he's like, he's home watching the grosses, because if this does what the Batman does and it hits 130 million in the first weekend, the next movie that they're going to put out is going to be a Michael Keaton
Batman Beyond.
Thank you. Batman Beyond movie. So obviously that's not going to happen now, but we're hoping that they at least that idea now is injected into the universe, and maybe that'll manifest somehow.
I shall pray. The only way I know how.
We can only hope.
I just wanted to bring up one thing really quick.
Yes.
How much money did we make already?
None. It just said invest it into Bitcoin or Ethereum.
Oh,
nothing specific. Yeah, you have to give it more parameters, Leo.
Oh, I gave it a ton of parameters.
Oh, okay.
All right, Leo, what else?
Okay, so Image Comics has released last week Void Rivals #1.
What did you think about it?
I have not read it yet. I just skimmed forward to the big event that happened.
Okay.
But yeah, I just picked up my comics the other day, so I'm going to be reading it soon. But the blockbuster Oblivion Song team of Robert Kirkman and Lorenzo Del Felici debut the biggest new comic book series of 2023 with the launch of an all-new shared universe.
Okay.
And a surprise you won't see coming. War rages around a sacred ring where the last remnants of the two worlds have collapsed around a black hole in never-ending war. However, when pilot Dirac and his rival Solaya both crash on a desolate planet, these two enemies must find a way to escape together. But are they alone on a strange planet? And what dark forces await that threaten the entire universe? I'm going to spoil it for you because I urge everybody to definitely pick up this book, because we learn through this issue that Image has acquired Transformers.
Damn.
So,
That's Starscream?
That is Starscream, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, no. That's Jetfire.
Oh, sweet. That looks great. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Jetfire.
So, the book will be out in October. And since this is a shared universe, I don't know if they're going to bring G.I. Joe into this, because Image also acquired G.I. Joe.
Anything's possible, Leo, but okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, Image doesn't do very many shared at all, I don't think. They were going to do some like Walking Dead stuff that like shared, but they never really got to it, I don't think, or it never really panned out. So it'll be interesting to see Image do something like that, where it goes further.
Yeah. But Walking Dead, I don't know.
Beat to the ground.
Oh yeah. They just announced another new show.
my God.
They gave Daryl his own show.
I'm so glad that they killed off the comic
Okay.
that they did.
Okay, I'm
I was
sorry.
like, I couldn't follow that any
I'm
longer.
sorry. I need to say this, and then please let's talk about something else.
Okay.
Yep.
Who is watching this stuff?
Nobody.
Like, that's what I don't understand. Like,
Nobody
all
I
these
know.
shows- Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, who is what? Like, are the overseas markets really that good?
Must be boomers.
Like, because me,
I have to admit, me and Megan did watch Walking Dead until the very end.
Did you?
yeah. Well,
I'm impressed. Like, congratulations on
no, I'm not surprised. That's Leo.
that. Well,
Loyal to
anybody
the end.
who made it to the end of that show deserves some kind of badge of honor.
It got rough, especially when they killed off Carl, and then Rick got lost.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Leo, you won the badge. We got it.
But yeah, it's crazy. They have like 4 different series coming out now. You have a Daryl show. You have a Maggie and Negan show.
Right.
You still have Rick's movie coming out.
Maggie and Negan.
Yeah, they're going to New York City, Jeremy. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, and
They're going
Daryl.
to the dumbest place you can go for a zombie.
Yep.
For
Yeah,
a zombie
why wouldn't
story.
you
You're
go
going to New York
country?
City.
Yeah, and she starts a bar, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
Again, the less we talk about this, the better our IQ. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What's up with Darkwing Duck?
Darkwing.
Kari.
All right. Well, I am the screeching fingernail on the chalkboard of justice. I am the sour ball in the candy jar of goodness. I am Negaduck. Dynamite Entertainment is giving the quotable and abominable Negaduck his own comic book series.
That must mean that the
Negaduck
Darkwing Duck series is doing pretty well, which is good to hear.
Yeah.
I'm hoping so. Negaduck #1 will be written by Jeff Parker with art from Ciro Congialos and colors by
that was
Joshua Middleton, Billy, Trish Forsyth, and Steve Lieber.
Yep, that one
and
was
will be
pretty
coming
good
out.
too.
Jeremy, let her finish. God damn it, man.
I'm sorry.
Get out. It'll be released on December.
Okay, now you can get out. You come in here doing my news, taking my line, and you're gonna shush Dr. Beaker over there. Beep beep. Little Pippi Longstocking, goth edition. Calm down. Do your goddamn news. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell.
We're all better for it.
Proceed, please. So, Negaduck.
The Negaduck, apparently the theme behind it for him to keep getting taken down is he goes out and tries to do all of his different crimes, but sadly all of the other villains take his ideas and do them better than he does. So that's the whole thing with Negaduck.
Well, and fun fact, you said Jeff Parker, right?
Yep.
Is the artist, is the writer?
Yes.
That's the guy who wrote Future Quest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, and he did Future Quest. He also did the other half of the New 52 run of Aquaman, following Jeff Johns. He's a great writer. I've met him once or twice. Really nice guy. And that should be great. He's got a great sense of humor. So okay.
Awesome.
And it's also interesting, Negaduck being from a parallel world. It would be really interesting to see maybe if we could explore that a little bit, because they only did so much with it in the show. So, okay. Hey.
I just love Darkwing Duck, so that was really cool to see. I love I've spent time, and now I think it's up to like 45 minutes or better if you watch every single I Am the Terror That Flaps in the Night thing on YouTube. When people compile them all together, it's just like, oh.
That's pretty
It's like a Michael Bay movie almost these days. Oh.
Yeah, except the plot is good.
He apparently he made a return in the DuckTales cartoon.
Woo.
Not Gotham Tales. No DuckTales. I love DuckTales. That was the best of the Disney afternoon.
Yep.
to danger.
Oh, actually, I think
Didn't they bring back a new version of that on Disney?
Yeah.
that's what I was talking about.
What to do? Just grab onto.
Was it any good?
I watched a
It
couple
was
episodes.
okay.
Yeah.
It was done in an animation style that I didn't really care for, but
Nice, Leo. The classic.
that's the old. Is that the original cartridge game?
No. I ordered a bunch of.
Oh yeah, the repros.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Dragon Warrior looks dope.
Yeah. You know what else?
Oh wait,
I
show me
ordered?
Dragon Warrior.
Actually,
Oh my God, we're never gonna get to this.
the manual.
Oh, they repro the manuals for you
Yeah.
as well?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Jaws. Oh my God. Paperboy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
But
that's what Leo's doing after the show.
so how about Spider Boy? Spider Boy does
Okay.
whatever a
All
Spider
right.
Boy can.
This is. I promise
This is
you.
nothing.
These are short blurbs because I saved the best for last. So, despite overwhelming fan criticism, Spider-Boy, created by Dan Slott and Humberto Ramos, is actually getting his own series, scoring sold-out printings of his first appearance in Spider-Man issue 7, which we brought up earlier, and his first solo adventure in last week's Edge of Spider-Verse issue 3. Spider-Boy, aka Bailey Briggs, is going to have his own series in November, written by Dan Slott, drawn by Paco Medina, and covers are going to be by his other co-creator, Humberto Ramos, who, as we know, worked with Dan Slott a lot during his Spider-Man and Superior Spider-Man run. So, essentially, the big point of this is that after everything's said and done with Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse, this character realizes that no one, not even Peter Parker, knows who he is. So they're kind of going with that, where they're going to explore his past, introduce an arch nemesis, and then explore his connection to Spider-Man mythos. The Marvel, essentially, their synopsis says, and I quote, after the events of the end of the Spider-Verse story, Spider-Boy's secret history as Spider-Man's sidekick was nearly forgotten forever. Now, those mysteries will be revealed while they embark on exciting new adventures together. The freaktacular first issue will feature 2 pulse-pounding tales as Bailey teams up with Squirrel Girl. Leo, I'm not done yet. Squirrel Girl and confronts the mad scientist who made him into a monster, Madame Monstrosity. So that's coming out November. Slot is pretty excited about it. Paco Medina is actually pretty excited about it. I don't know. I kind of don't care.
I know we want them to create new characters and stuff, and this is them creating new characters in some way, form. But how about new powers too?
I'm kind of good.
How about Arachnid Boy instead of Spider Boy?
Well, maybe not carbon copy a character. You know, like DC.
A little bit different with the costumes, a little bit.
DC just started City Boy, which is something totally unique. But I think it was from an indie comic, right?
Yeah. Well, no. What you're referring to, Leo, is City Boy was a Wildstorm character that then became, when Wildstorm was absorbed into the DC universe. But that's different. That's a continuation of a character that had a fandom.
Okay.
This is just continuing on the Spider-Man universe is a big old oil preserve, and we are going to suck that fucker dry.
And they already have it sold out, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Jeremy. This is like anything. Despite the criticism, if they see the sales, just like what Velvet said, if they get that money, they're going to get more because they think that's what the fans want. So we have to do what responsible consumers do. We don't buy it. If we don't want to, we don't buy it. But Jeremy, just like the people you in your community, the collectors, they're going to see first appearances. Let me get this, get it, tag it, bag it, grade it, sell it, make a mint. And I'm like, yeah, you're going to make like $100 because everybody's thinking the same thing.
But if you buy 20 of them, that's 2000s.
No,
Yeah.
Leo.
By
No,
the
Leo
time you get
votes
them
for
back
his
from
wallet.
2000.
no, Leo. That's called a category all unto your own, Chief. So enjoy your own room. Moving on. Next one is again a new idea that seems new but is actually old. So Miles Morales, everybody, gets his own Iron Spider-Man suit. And so as we know, right now, this is the summer of
This is
symbiote.
so
aka,
original.
Carnage is essentially decided Miles Morales is his main target. So Miles, after a battle with Cletus Cassidy, who is, I don't know, rocking some hardcore superpowers, looks like he's almost mortally wounded, is covered with nanotech, instantly healed, and now he has his own Iron Spider-Man suit. And according to artist Federico Vicentini, who also works with writer Cody Ziegler on it, he said, "It's fantastic to work on this new character. I was given total freedom of the creation based on Cody's description on his notes. I had a clear idea of how I wanted to portray the armor. It had to be something rough, but resistant and ingenious at the same time. Personally speaking, again, you guys remember when we first saw the Iron Spider? That was Spider-Man's Iron Spider suit when he was working with Tony Stark. That was kind of disappeared after Spider-Man. Then that showed up again in New Warriors with like an Iron Spider clone squad. And I believe, if Kari, if I'm correct, Miles Morales's uncle, who we would see later in the Marvel Universe, also had an Iron Spider suit when he showed up again, right?
Yes.
Yes. Well, yeah. This is Rich after the Ultimate Universe was kind of absorbed. Certain characters, when the Ultimate Universe ended, because we know it's back technically now, certain characters from the Ultimate Universe ended up in the Marvel Universe, but some of them didn't remember their past life, so it's just this whole thing.
Okay.
So, but again, this is more or less, we're just recycling something old and slapping a new coat of paint on it versus doing something new with it. With, again, no disrespect to the artist, the drawing that Leo just showed looks great. I just, again,
Oh yeah.
I can't motivate myself both to care or read it.
No, I find it funny that most of Spider-Man's characters are these old guys going after teenagers. It's always been something weird to me. I'm just like, Carnage is chasing down Miles Morales. Isn't Miles like 14 or something?
He's been in jail for a few years. You know, he's changed.
So the last note I have, I unfortunately don't have much in DC, but that's just DC didn't release too much there. Is something I'm very excited about, is that Marvel is actually doing something that I think is really cool. We're taking the world of What If and making them novels. So in 2024, we are going to be seeing alternate stories adapted as novels. So as we know, the What Ifs have been a very popular Marvel story. I don't know if it's imprint, I guess we can call it that, where we imagine alternate versions of classic storylines, characters, and such. Kind of like the Marvel version of Elseworlds before Elseworlds were a thing in the DC universe. So, but they've always been mini series and such, never really going past 6 issues. So now we have novels. So this is by Random House. So we're going to have a new trilogy of novels. And the first one is going to be What If Loki Was Worthy? A Loki and Valkyrie story by Madeline Rowe, which is going to be coming out March 12th, 2024. And the synopsis reads, while Loki struggles to fulfill his brother's last request, the far-reaching consequences of his fatal prank return to haunt him. Blinded by grief from those he lost in the chaos wrought by Asgard, Iron Man vows revenge on those he considers themselves gods. Determined to protect the Earth from the might of this unpredictable alien power, he forges Asgard's own weaponry into a lethal suit of armor, set on eradicating any tether between their worlds. Consequences be damned. When Asgard looks to Loki for salvation, he must answer the question, am I truly worthy? Other books that are announced for 2024 is What If Wanda Maximoff and Peter Parker Were Siblings? A Spider-Man and Scarlet Witch story by Shanann McGuire. It will be released in July 2024. And What If Mark Spector was a host to Venom? A Moon Knight and Venom story by Mike Chen. That'll be out October 2024. Honestly, this I might check out myself. This definitely sounds very cool. I do enjoy a good story, and I think this is something different. So
that'd be a pretty interesting, especially if they use the Moon Knight that has like schizophrenia and stuff, like where like, you know, Moon Knight's not only schizophrenic, but he's also got friggin' another voice inside of his head that's actually there.
Right.
That'd be wonderful.
So I'm excited about this. I think that's a nice evolution of what ifs. And
two of the three of those I'm pretty excited about. I like the Loki and the Mark Spector one. I'm a little less excited about the Spidey Wanda brother thing, but yeah. It's really reading in a book. I might fetch them.
Yeah. As long as they don't do what if Jane obtained Thor's hammer.
Been done a few times now.
Oh my God!
Sit down.
We covered the original What If on Comics Paradox. Oh my God!
It's really bad, isn't it?
Oh, so bad.
The episode was sweet though.
Nice save, Jeremy. Nice save.
Is Jeremy off camera and he has some kind of picture of himself up behind some bricks?
Do I?
Yes.
Either that or you're frozen, one or the other.
I'm frozen?
You
have a brick wall behind.
That's not your background.
Regulators,
that's
roll
not your
out.
room. No.
Hold on. What?
It's totally funny.
What's going on?
Do you not see it?
No, I look normal on my end.
Okay, well, to us, I see a picture of you that is not moving. Your mouth's not moving. You have your headphones on.
Yeah, Jeremy, before we get to the last piece of news, you look like you're trying to do your version of Derelique from Zoolander.
Are you wearing a regulator shirt?
Yeah.
Okay, then you're frozen.
Oh.
You should let it go.
Let me try something.
He's also got a brick background instead of his.
There you go.
Oh, there he goes. He's changing his backgrounds around.
No, I just found the settings. I just did it now, but I how do I take it off?
I have no idea.
Oh, hold on. It says none. Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay.
We just see your usual blue background.
So I don't know why there was a brick thing going on.
That's hilarious.
So, the last piece of news I have, I'm good with Kari taking over for that, as it's related to something she's reading right now on my recommendation. So, Miss Sanders, take it away.
What are you reading?
Right now, I am reading The Immortal Hulk because available now. The Hulk is back on Earth in his new ongoing series, The Incredible Hulk, by writer Philip Kennedy Johnson, artist Nick Klein, and Matthew Wilson, and letterer Corey Petit, whatever. But that's not necessarily good news for the Jade Giant, as he finds himself with a bounty on his head with all of the Marvel Universe's monsters on his trail. Basically, if you take what happened in The Immortal Hulk, which I'm reading right now, and you get a bit of the mysticism behind the Gamma going on, and the Green Door that was being opened, they end up closing the Green Door, and the Mother of Horrors that was behind that and below has been summoned by her eldest child, and once he invokes her name, it makes contacts to all of the monsters of the Marvel Universe and basically sets them out to put a bounty on the Hulk's head and hunt him down. So we have a new horror series with the Hulk going on. And this was exciting enough to me that last night I read the first 20 issues of The Immortal Hulk, and so that I knew what was going on before that, I read the Avengers No Surrender so I could catch up with everything. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be amazing, and I love the world that they're pulling from. So
I'm going to quit reading comic books just so, because Kari is too good at this.
Yeah, like how on earth do you read that fast? Like, oh my God, that's awesome.
Not only she did that, but she just rebooted her whole Owlite series brand.
Yeah.
Across the board. I started seeing TikTok videos now from Owlite.
Mm-hmm.
I know you sleep very little. But good God, woman, you are never stop working, do you?
No, actually, a lot of that.
Well,
We have a
can't
team
stop.
working on that. The TikTok, all that's being put up by Jenny. Raz is cutting videos. I'm labeling and putting things up. We have a lot. I actually sleep like 10 hours or more a day. Like I sometimes get in like 18 hours of sleep because of all the meds I'm on. I'm just up late a lot. So I kind of have a different schedule than you guys do. But that's why I can't keep up with shows.
Well, yeah,
that
sometimes
you do
Kari's even awake
because
during the day, which catches me off guard. I'm like, hey,
It's
what
so
is she
weird.
doing?
But it's like she's like, hello, and I'm like, don't you dissolve into dust if you hit the sunlight touches you at this hour?
basically, yeah, no, I can read that fast, but you guys all watch
Like-
shows, and I don't know when you find time to do it because you can't I can read fast. You can't watch a show any faster.
Yeah, but Kari, you don't understand. When we're on a Terrific Con, we're gonna have to have like an umbrella over you, like in dark shadows, because we need to protect you from the sun, lest you lose your goth complexion that you've worked so hard to maintain by your owl light.
Well, fortunately, it's in a casino that has no windows, and therefore you never know what time it is.
First things first, there's always windows, Velvet. You gotta know where just gotta know where to look. So, but that's all the news I had. So I think we're finally ready to talk about the book. It only took us an hour and 20 minutes. So
nope. One more to go.
What's that?
So as we just had, now we have no volume for Jar Jar Jeremy.
I said sorry. I'm having a lot of problems with my camera tonight. I don't know what's going on. I picked up my microphone and my camera was like, it's no longer connected.
So you were saying, Velvet.
This past week, we had the first episode of Marvel's Secret Invasion. So we're finding out all about the Skrulls. And
I have not watched it yet, so I'm just going to pop.
Oh, not yet?
All right. So he's going to pop out. So I'll drop the spoiler now. After 11 years in the MCU, at the end of this episode, we say goodbye to Maria Hill, a.k.a. the actress Colby Smulders. And she was really surprised that this was not leaked on the internet previous to that. And she was happy to say goodbye and was very pleased. She didn't seem angry in any way. She seemed like it was a good send-off. She knew it was happening. And she said it's been a fantastic run for 11 years.
Oh, yeah, man. Any actor to get it's kind of almost like construction when you get a long run like that. It's pretty impressive. Got to be thankful just for it.
And that's how I met your mother.
Yeah. And yeah, she transitioned at the same time when she was starting the Marvel movie. She was finishing off the last season of that, Leo. And I actually recently started rewatching the MCU from the beginning. And I'm up to right now halfway into the first Avengers movie. And she has quite a few scenes and bonus scenes that were deleted from the movie where she put on a pretty good performance, I got to say. From coming from that comedy 30-minute format to the cinematic experience, I have to say she's grown tremendously, and I'm kind of a fan, and I'm looking out for the next thing that she does.
She got them chops.
Yeah. So that is my last piece of news. I don't know if anyone has any commentary on that. Although Leo, we've been mispronouncing and trying to figure out what's been going on in the articles with the actor named Kingsley Ben-Adir. We thought it was Ben Kingsley, that somehow the articles were screwing up. But no, the actor that plays Gravik, who is the main Skrull, that is his name, Kingsley Ben-Adir. So mystery solved.
Yeah.
I thought it was
you
weird
know
that you were saying Ben Kingsley. I was
no,
it was the Mandarin.
Yeah. It was confusing. I never had heard of him before. And he did a pretty good performance. The first run of watching that show, I said it was really slow, but I rewatched it 2 nights ago, and now that I got to sit down and watch it slowly, and it wasn't the first gone through, I enjoyed it a lot better.
Yeah, you guys good? Because I feel like I didn't hear anything, but I feel the need to tell Leo get out.
Get out, Leo.
I feel like he said something that was like get out worthy.
Probably.
Yeah.
Get out, Leo.
Okay.
Just go.
Yeah, Leo, I feel like you said something that had I been listening, I would have been like, get out.
Yep.
See, yeah, that's how you do it, Kari. You just got a deadpan, just get out.
Well, I was waiting for you to get him for me, and you didn't, so I had to. Cause
I was on mute. Did you not see me rereading
No.
Invasion
I
for
mean,
the second time?
I was drooling over at that when I told him to, and you were like, "Don't use my line." I'm like, "Well, I fucking waited for you, and you didn't, so I had to." Because I don't have a line.
You'll get there.
I can
You'll find your moment.
I can get the squirrel and be like, "Fucking Jar Jar, knock it off!"
We're doing it live.
So,
Okay.
You know what your line could be?
What's that?
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
I want to go fast now.
You know.
No.
So
back to the drawing board.
Get out, Leo.
No.
Kari, but for Terrificon, please bring the squirrel.
Oh, Ratatosker will come. Sure.
Okay. Oh, we will be. That thing's not going to be put away if you bring him to Terrificon. We're going to be squirreling the whole time.
Are you saying that
Do I have to bring Cthulhu too?
That squirrel will be knucking fucks.
Thank you. Thank you, Dickie Roberts. So please let's talk about the book.
Hold on, just to explain that really quick. I know none of you watch Strange New Worlds.
We don't care, Leo. We don't care.
It's actually quite funny. You know how
if you say so.
You know how every captain has his phrase.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right. He's working on his, right?
Well, this is his first command of the Enterprise.
Yeah.
And they ask him, "So what's your phrase?" And he goes, he thinks about it for a second. "I want to go fast now." Yeah. Because he's a Vulcan, it's logical.
Sad face.
No, and yes, Drew. I was busy drooling over your window as you were reading there, so I paid no attention to what was being talked about.
That's good.
I don't know if anybody noticed. Yes.
Yep. Let me just keep reading this Ultimate Invasion. All right.
Oh, we're on to Paper Girls.
Yes.
Yeah, it only took us an hour and a half.
Jeremy's choice here this week.
So, Paper Girls is a comic book series created by writer Brian K. Vaughan and artist Cliff Chiang. I hope I said that correctly. I actually interviewed him once. I found out earlier today. It's set in the 1980s. The story revolves around a group of 4 teenage girls who work as paper delivery girls in a suburban neighborhood. In the first issue, issues 1 through 5, we're introduced to Erin, Mac, Tiffany, and KJ, the titular paper girls, on the morning after Halloween. The girls find themselves caught in a mysterious and unexpected adventure as they set out to deliver newspapers. They stumble upon bizarre occurrences, including strange people dressed in futuristic clothing, unexplainable time rifts, and dangerous creatures. As the story unfolds, the girls find themselves hurtling through time and encountering a dystopian future, encountering factions and individuals with their own motives and agendas. Their journeys become a thrilling exploration of friendship, courage, and the unpredictable nature of time itself. With captivating artwork, compelling characters, and a suspenseful narrative, Paper Girls immerses readers in a world with time travel, science fiction, and coming of age all intersect, leaving them eagerly anticipating the subsequent issues and the secrets that lie ahead. My God, did I get tongue-tied.
You did good, buddy.
Blah, blah, blah.
You did good, buddy.
But all in all, what I was trying to say is it's a damn good read, and good Lord, the art and the story brings, I don't know about you guys, but all the feels of being a punk kid in the 80s out with all your friends came up right in the beginning. And even when they dropped the F-bomb, and not fuck, but the other one that I'm not allowed to say in my household because I love my family. But it was great. It's just like, in that they talked about it, and they get into LGBTQ scenarios later on. I don't know if any of you besides Kari read further, but this story it's intense. And I'm so sad that the series on TV didn't make it.
Yeah, but again, I think the thing, Jeremy, is if I could offer my 2 cents, because I only read the first 5 issues, and again, I didn't do what is now known as pulling a Kari, which is reading the whole
Yeah.
thing in one night.
Well, I didn't do it in one night. I'll say that.
Yeah, well, but still, point being, Brian K. Vaughan is the kind of writer that he really works better when he's left to his own devices. And, I've read his work, on Why the Last Man, which is amazing that he did with Pia Guerrera. This. It's just like, it's not that he does bad. He just works best when he's doing his own things. And I will also say this, if you guys did love this, he did a 3-issue miniseries called Logan with Eduardo Riso that was absolutely amazing. So it's not that I don't feel like he doesn't do well when he's working with DC or Marvel. They just he has to do his own thing. He can't just, and Kari, you've read his work that he did on Ultimate X-Men. So you remember it took a minute, but when it was really more him, it was the better series for it. So
yeah,
that's my sense. Like, again, it was a great read. I feel like if you're explaining it, it was like, it's like Stranger Things, but the entire cast are women.
Yeah, I definitely got a Stranger Things vibe. The page that we have up right now, this really hit me in the feels. I love it that she's using the correct controller for the game. But talking about how, like, those were all her memories, as her life flashed forward is that's a little scary, and she got sick of that music to the game. Just absolutely crazy. The storyline was amazing. Jar Jar, thank you so much for recommending this. It's also really smart. I love the part where they're talking about time travel and how the ship needs to be stationary because the Earth is always moving.
Yeah.
And that's one thing they talk about with time travel. Like, if you have a time travel device, you go back in time, the Earth could be somewhere else. So you might not appear, like you'll be out in space.
In space, yeah.
Yeah.
The Earth might not be where it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I just realized. I'm sorry. I just realized something. I forgot to bring up that he's also doing Saga with Fiona Staples. That's just
Saga is a great read as well.
Yeah, still going. I think they're going to like issue 100, and then they're going to stop, which I think is amazing.
And they take breaks every now and again, which is kind of good for it. Like, they don't get burnt out on it.
Yeah, for me though, I will say like the first 5 issues I think are more ambitious than some like DC or Marvel storylines. I mean, you see all these pop culture references, and you have dinosaurs, you have time travelers. Like, I was like, my God, this is a big story, but it still feels very low scale,
Yeah, they even
they were able to.
Go ahead, Kari.
Oh, they were able to take so much and cram it all into 30 issues. It's just crazy the amount of stuff that they were able to work in, because they didn't make like extra long issues or anything. They were just that good at the storytelling.
That damn good master of storytelling right there.
Yeah, I see where you guys see the Stranger Things correlation, but I kept thinking about the E.T.
It's the bikes.
Yeah, it's the bikes, and it's the unity of the group that's involved in that gang.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I felt like they were throwing a lot of stuff at me in only 5 issues. I got to say, at the end of the 5th issue, I was confused about who was the good guys, who were the bad guys. And it just seemed like it was more about the core thing than the things that were happening, because they were throwing so many things at you. I mean, and the most interesting concept, which Leo just talked about, was when the young lady, her life was flashing before her eyes. I've seen in a lot of videos where people that have died and come back in our existence, they often think, or they have moments of, man, I just did nothing, and I have so much that I could have done.
Right.
So that seems that they touched in with that, I thought was pretty cool. I don't know. I really like that aspect, at least. But other than that, for me, it was kind of a medium read. I liked it. I didn't love it. I thought the art was okay. I saw what they were doing, but it wasn't my favorite. So for me, it was an interesting read, but not something I would per se delve further. For me.
Okay, that's
See,
fine.
For me, as a colorblind person, I loved the style of the art because I didn't feel like I was missing anything. It made all the tones were like perfect for me.
Jeremy, don't worry, it was all purple.
It was just a big purple mess.
Yep, it was just a big old grape comic. It was purple all over. So, what you were saying, Kari?
Oh, I liked also. They have the different speak. You know, you come from when you get into different time travel places, they have different languages and ways of speaking, and some of them speak normally. Some of them have a totally alien language where they're using little devices to translate, and some have a very interesting argot to them, like kind of speaking in slang, where you have like one of them, come a short piece now, and it's just basically, hey, calm your shit down. Goes on to, come on, girl, clear yay, the time can end a human's being. And it's just she's saying like, you couldn't kill somebody, but you know the way they phrase it and stuff, and then you think like, oh, this is this whole new language, and then you run into some of the other people. I don't know if it's in those comics, but they're like, would you speak like a normal human being and not in your slang that you use? But they've got this whole kind of thing going on that reminded me a bit of like the slang usage in Clockwork Orange. Like some people speak normally. The hip kids or whatever have the whole shit. That you know what I'm talking about anyway. I just thought it was interesting that there would be changes and stuff, and you know, because if you go way into the future or way into the past, the way people speak.
Oh, our languages are always changing.
Yeah.
Like even our swear words and stuff.
Oh yeah. So it's like trying to figure out what they're saying, and then finally somebody's like, "Oh, would you just speak normally?" Oh, okay. But it's fun to piece it out.
Yeah, but overall, it was still a solid read. I mean, it's always nice to read a fresh idea. But I agree with Jeremy. It's sad that it didn't get more in the season.
Now I don't even want to watch the first season because I'm like, oh, well, there's no season 2 coming. So it was kind of like after watching Y, I felt cheated almost. I was like, hey, why aren't you giving me more? I spent my time and watched the show. Now it's time for you to pay me back.
I invested. Why couldn't you?
What streaming service was that?
Amazon.
Oh.
Yeah, Amazon has some real misses with their series.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Although I'm really excited for Good Omens to come back.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
But okay, well, I don't know. Do you guys want to? Is there anything more to say, or did you want to just rate this one and the words of our great Han Solo? Would you blow this thing and let's go home?
Punch it, Chewie.
Through at the top of the hour when he restarted us off.
Let's see. What is it? Okay. Well, for me, I'm going to give it a 4. To be quite honest, so 4 bicycles. I enjoyed it. It's original. I really do. Again, I enjoy Brian K. Vaughan when he's left to his own devices. I would recommend it, but I feel like I'd really have to know the person. This wasn't something I just recommend to somebody who doesn't read comics. You know?
Yeah.
So, solid, but I feel like if someone is like, oh, hey, I'm a big fan of like Rich, like they're a big fan of like E.T. or Stranger Things, I was like, you know, you would like this. But a rando off the street, no, this is not what I recommend. So that's me. Next.
All right, so I'm going to give it 3 1/4 Huffy Bikes.
Okay. Kari?
Oh. No, go ahead.
I'm with Drew. I'm going to give it a 4. I was really impressed. I did read all 30, and there are a couple of questions I'm left with at the end on a couple of things, but it pretty much wraps itself up. It's self-encapsulated well.
Okay.
I am going to join Drew and Kari and hit it with another 4 and for Huffies, and say I enjoyed it. For somebody who has a hard time reading a lot at once, this was not a problem for me. I got through, I'd say, probably 6 to 8 issues at a time within, I'd say, probably a good hour and a half.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I was slamming them down. The first few arcs was just like,
Okay.
But overall, yeah, 4. It's nice. It's a good read. Like Drew said, though, I wouldn't recommend it to everybody in my comics world. I would recommend it to those who I know like sci-fi, that are definitely more leaning towards like enjoying Stranger Things and stuff like that.
Yeah. Leo?
Totally agree. I am also going to jump on the bandwagon, and I'm going to do 4 little Apple tracking devices.
We're 4 for 4.
Ooh,
Ah,
it's like it's on my machine back at the school.
Okay. That's all good.
yeah, really enjoyed it. When I got to the end of the book, I'm like, wait, this is it? And now I realize I need to go read more. But yeah, the first arc, I went by really fast, really enjoyed it. And same thing. I'd recommend this to anybody that enjoys Stranger Things or that type of sci-fi storyline.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Cool.
We did it.
Yahoo.
Another one in the can.
Yeah.
Leah,
Under
do you
2
want
hours
to
this
start
time. Thank you everybody for watching this fine evening. You know me, just Google me, you'll find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. I'm not going to say which is which, but I run the Dorkening Podcast Network. Head on over to thedorkening.com. You can learn more information about us there. I do this show every Tuesday. Splash Page is the comic book club. Go check out our YouTube page. You can find more information in the show notes. I also do Comics Paradox with Brandon and Justin. Also with those 2 gentlemen, I do the Dork Night as well. All those episodes you can find Sundays at 9 a.m. And also Midweek Geeks on Wednesday, along with Still Token With on Wednesdays. A lot of shit I do. Holy crap. Kari.
When I am not hanging out with these fine gents, you can find me over on the Owlite Network. Sundays, we do a show every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. It is a rotating show based on storytelling. You'll either have a campfire going on, an unwrapping, an interview of some kind, something that it relates to the world of storytelling, and us just scrolling out. And starting this Friday, you will see on alternating Fridays, The Tomb of the Terrible, where we are going to be reviewing horrible movies so that you don't have to. And that will alternate with Mats and Monsters, a show about wrestling, and cryptids. Look up Kari Sanders on Facebook, and you can find all of my links there. Check out the Owlite Network on Facebook as well, and you'll see everything else we have there.
Awesome. Jar Jar.
Hey, that's a wrap, folks. Thanks for tuning in to Splash Pages, the podcast that always leaves you with a smile on your face and a new appreciation for the world of comics. Don't forget to check out Comic Book Lovers Buy, Sell, Trade, and Auction House for even more comic book goodness over there on Facebook. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave us a review. Let us know what you want to hear more of in the future. And until next time, this is Jar Jar Jeremy signing off and remind you to always keep turning those pages.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Velvet.
Hey, it's your man Velvet J, and we're wrapping up another award-winning Splash Pages podcast. And I hope if you guys are enjoying this, you hit like and subscribe, heading on over to YouTube. We have the Splash Pages channel where you can, of course, subscribe, like, enjoy our content. And if you like the stuff that I do, I love disseminating nerd news to you guys, and I continue to do that on all the online networks. So please check me out on TikTok, Velvet Joker 1. I think I recently did something with Samuel L. Jackson, and then I did a funny thing making fun of Screen Crush and tagged them on it, and they actually hearted it today. So keep pushing. You can get there too. Love you guys. Mwah. Good night. Peace out. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Master Drew.
I
Wake
put
up.
him to sleep. I talked too long.
Somebody got a ping pong ball?
Okay. This is the end. You made it. We're very proud of you.
It's
And,
the end of the world as you know it.
And good luck. We're all counting on you. So yeah, and I'm places and I'm on things and people talk to me and I don't know.
Imagine all the people.
Cool. We're gonna go now. But
Call it Drew Mollo.
Well, we're gonna go now, but thank you for joining us. You're wonderful. If you need to find any of us, the links are
You
there.
may say you
We
need
have
a
faith in you.
Ghostbuster.
We're gonna go now. So Leo, we're gonna go now.
You can find him on Instagram.
Ghostbuster Man 1984.
Get out. Good night, everybody. You're doing great. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.
We're going out.
Night.
Good night.